Guys, before we even get into today's episode, I need you to sit down for this one, because what we saw tonight might just change everything we thought we knew about this family. What if I told you that the man everyone has been bowing down to, the man giving orders, firing people, calling security on his own relatives, what if that man is not even a real Mackay's? Stay with me on this video because by the end of it, you are going to understand why I am saying this, and trust me, this episode gave us more than enough reason to ask the question. Now let's talk about what actually happened tonight, because there was a lot going on. The drama between Zwelithini and Mlobo has finally reached boiling point, and honestly, it was a long time coming. For weeks we have watched Zwelithini grow more and more suspicious of Mlobo, and tonight all of that suspicion came out in the open. Zwelithini confronted Mlobo directly and accused him of stealing from the family company, and what made it worse is that he also dragged Dumisani into it, saying that Dumisani is the one who taught Mlobo how to do it. Can you imagine the audacity? A father accusing his own son of teaching another man how to steal. That alone tells you that trust in this family is completely broken. Dumisani, of course, was not going to sit there and take that kind of accusation quietly. He pushed back hard, and honestly I respected him for it in this moment, because he refused to be painted as the villain when he had done nothing wrong. But Zwelithini was not in the mood to listen to anybody. He called security on both of them and had them removed from the office like common criminals. That scene alone was heavy, because these are grown men, family members, being escorted out of a building by security guards while everyone watches. That is humiliation on a whole other level, and I don't think Mlobo or Dumisani are going to forget that anytime soon. What really got me thinking tonight though was Zwelithini's mother. She heard about everything that happened, and instead of being relieved that things did not escalate further, she actually said her son should have called the police instead of just security. Now think about that for a second. This is a mother telling her son to have his own relatives arrested. That is not normal family behavior, and it made me start questioning what kind of history this family actually has with each other, because that level of coldness does not come from nowhere. Something happened in this family a long time ago that we as viewers have not been shown yet, and I strongly believe the writers are building up to reveal it soon. Now let's get into Mlobo's home situation, because that was just as messy as the office scene. Mlobo's wife has had enough. She packed her things and told him straight to his face that he never stands up for himself, that he does whatever his father tells him to do, and that he does not have a voice of his own. Honestly, as much as I feel for Mlobo being caught in the middle of all this family chaos, his wife was not wrong. Throughout this entire storyline, Mlobo has shown very little backbone. He gets pushed around by his father, he gets pushed around by Zwelithini, and now his own wife is walking out because she is tired of watching him fold under pressure. If Mlobo wants to save his marriage, he needs to find that voice quickly, because right now he is losing everything at once, his job, his family standing, and now his wife. After being fired, Mlobo tried to make things right. He went to Zwelithini's house to apologize, and honestly the scene was a bit painful to watch because you could see how uncomfortable he was. Zwelithini accepted the apology in a very cold, distant way, basically telling him that it is fine because he no longer works there anyway, so there is nothing left to argue about. That kind of response is worse than if he had just shouted at him, because it shows that Zwelithini has already emotionally checked out of the relationship. He is not even angry anymore, he is just done, and that is a scary place for any family member to be in with another. But here is where it gets even messier. Even after being fired, Mlobo refused to actually leave the company business alone. His father found out that Mlobo was still involved somehow, still connected to operations he had supposedly been removed from, and that revelation shocked everyone in the room. Dumisani was the one who exposed this, saying he knew Mlobo never actually stopped, and that just confirmed what a lot of us were already suspecting: Mlobo is playing a much longer game than anyone realizes. He is not the passive, spineless character his wife thinks he is. Underneath that quiet exterior, he has been quietly maneuvering this whole time. Then we found out exactly what Mloba has actually been doing behind everyone's back, and this is where the real shock of the episode comes in. Mloba has been running illegal transport operations using the family's logistics trucks. Yes, you heard that right. While everyone has been focused on office politics and who said what to who, Mloba has been quietly using company trucks for something completely illegal, and it sounds like it involves dangerous people. There was mention of him meeting people late at night, the kind of people you do not want to be doing business with unless you are desperate or greedy, and possibly both. This puts his safety at serious risk, and honestly it puts the whole family's safety at risk too, because if these are the kind of people I think they are, this storyline is going to escalate into something far more dangerous than boardroom arguments. What really shook me was finding out that Zwelithini apparently already knew about this illegal activity and gave his blessing. He basically told Mloba that he does not want to see the company collapse, so if Mloba wants to do something on the side to keep money coming in, he should go ahead, as long as he does not get himself killed in the process. That is such a morally grey position for a father figure to take. On one hand you could say he is being pragmatic, trying to protect the family business by any means necessary. On the other hand, he is knowingly putting his son in danger and involving him in criminal activity just to keep money flowing. This tells me Zwelithini's character is far more complicated than we originally thought, and it also raises the question of what kind of man he really is underneath that authoritative exterior. And speaking of Zwelithini's character, this brings me back to the big question I opened this video with. Zwelithini has been positioning himself as the head of this family, the one who fires people, the one who decides who gets forgiven and who gets punished, the one negotiating lobola on behalf of the family. But something about the way he operates just feels off to me. He trusts the wrong people at the wrong times, he pushes away the people who are actually loyal to him, like Dumisani, and he protects the people causing chaos, like Mloba. If Zwelithini truly is a legitimate Mackay's with real blood ties to this family, why does his judgment feel so disconnected from the family's actual best interests? Why does he keep making decisions that benefit outsiders while punishing his own children? I am not saying this is confirmed, but the way this storyline is being built, with all these secrets, illegal dealings, and buried family history, it would not surprise me at all if we get a reveal down the line that questions Zwelithini's actual place in this family bloodline. Shows like this love to drop these bombshells right when you least expect them, and honestly, the groundwork is already being laid. Now let's shift over to the lobola negotiations, because Zwelithini has apparently asked Mloba to be the lead negotiator for an upcoming lobola process. Given everything we just talked about, doesn't that feel like a strange decision? You just fired this man, you do not fully trust him, and yet you are handing him one of the most important cultural responsibilities a family can assign to someone. That tells me Zwelithini is either playing a much bigger strategic game than we realize, trying to keep Mloba close so he can keep an eye on him, or he genuinely does not have good judgment when it comes to picking people to trust. Either way, this negotiation storyline is going to be interesting to watch unfold, especially with all this tension boiling under the surface. Let's also talk about Lwandle for a moment, because he has really been dragged through the mud in this family. After everything with his father Dumisani, Lwandle ended up being chased out of his house and had to go seek shelter elsewhere. Watching a young man get thrown out of his own home because of his father's issues with other family members is honestly heartbreaking. Lwandle did not create this drama, he is simply caught in the crossfire of adults who cannot resolve the issues like grown people, and now he is the one paying the price by losing his home. I really hope the writers give him a redemption arc soon, because he has been nothing but collateral damage in this storyline so far. Now let's move over to the more light-hearted part of tonight's episode, which involves the Mbokozi family and Pasika. Pasika seems to be settling into the Mbokozi family quite comfortably, and honestly it looks like she is being treated well there. But there is a bit of tension brewing because it seems Pasika has not fully told her side of things, and Mombokozi has come in with a very warm, welcoming attitude that almost feels like it is hiding an underlying agenda. I get the sense that Pasika enjoys the comfort of living with the Mbokozi family a little too much, and she does not seem eager to move out anytime soon. Mombokozi has even been giving instructions about food and daily household matters, which shows she is fully embracing Pasika's presence, but I have a feeling that once the full truth comes out about certain details Pasika has been keeping quiet, this warm welcome might turn ice cold very quickly. If we zoom out and look at the bigger picture of everything happening in this family right now, it is honestly wild how much dysfunction is layered on top of dysfunction. You have a father accusing his own children of theft. You have a mother who wants the police called on her own grandchildren essentially. You have a son running illegal operations with his father's blessing. You have another son losing his job, his standing, and almost his marriage all in one episode. You have a grandson getting kicked out of his home because of grown folks' unresolved issues. And now you have lobola negotiations being handed to the least trustworthy person in the room. This family is genuinely a mess, and that is exactly why we keep watching, because every single episode adds another layer to this chaos. What I want to know from you watching this video is where you think this is all heading. Do you believe Zweliki's authority in this family is built on something false, something that is going to come crashing down the moment the truth is revealed? Do you think Mlaba is playing a smarter game than his wife or his father give him credit for, or is he simply in over his head with dangerous people who are eventually going to catch up to him? And what about Pasika? Is she genuinely trying to build a life with the Mbokozi family, or is there something she is hiding that is going to blow up in her face the moment it comes out? I want to remind everyone watching that everything discussed in this video is purely commentary, opinion, and speculation based on what aired in tonight's episode. None of this is presented as confirmed fact about future storylines, and viewers should always watch the actual episode for the full and accurate picture of what happens. My goal here is simply to break down what we saw, share my honest reactions, and open up space for discussion in the comments, not to spread rumors or misinformation about the show or anyone involved in it. Before I wrap up, let me just say this. Family drama like this only works when the characters feel real, when their flaws feel human, and honestly this episode delivered that in full. Nobody in this family is perfect. Everybody has secrets, everybody has made questionable decisions, and everybody is dealing with consequences they brought on themselves in one way or another. That is what keeps a story like this compelling, and it is why I keep coming back week after week to break these episodes down with you all. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you like the video, drop your predictions in the comments section, and subscribe if you have not already, because I will be back with more breakdowns as this story continues to unfold. Let me know down below what you think is really going on with Zweliki, whether you think Mlaba can turn things around, and whether Pasika's situation with the Mbokozi family is going to stay peaceful or fall apart. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, and until then, take care of yourselves.